everyone, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be doing a few of wedding questions and answers video. So I'm going to jump right into the video because my answers are always super lengthy and I want to go in kind of depth with everything. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first question is actually a really good question. It says, how did you set your budget? Did you have parties? Okay, so the budget thing is a really good question because if you've never been married before and you don't even know like what you to do. So I know that me and my husband, we always thought like when we got engaged, like we thought we were gonna have like a nice cute wedding, nothing too big but still something really nice. So we both agreed that, or we both have the mentality that we just don't believe in spending a very large amount on a wedding. At the end of the day, you can have something really nice and still have, you know, like money to, you know, either buy a house or whatever it is that you want to do. So we definitely both felt strongly about that. But I figured out that the budget was really kind of hard to control because I think the first step to figuring out your budget is going to be deciding where you're going to have your wedding. So is it going to be at a venue? Because if so, then the venue is going to be kind of the main thing that's going to see what your budget is. So for example, you know, some venues already come with, their vendors and everything, or they'll have like a package that is like one fat budget and it'll kind of include a little bit of everything. Obviously you still have to buy your dress and everything, but you know, there's even some that'll include like hair and makeup artists. There's venues that you can kind of like rent the space for the day or for like certain hours, and then you can choose your outside vendors. So allowing that is kind of like a good way to budget. So it really depends. I would say the first thing is deciding if you're gonna be having it, you know, it's somebody that has a nice backyard or something that has someone that has like a nice spacious, you know, space or whatever that they can use. Then obviously you can really budget there. You can really decide on your budget, like, okay, I'm only gonna spend 10,000 or, you know, 5,000 or 20,000, whatever it is, whatever you're looking for. I think the first thing you're gonna decide is on the venue where you're gonna hold it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend you to look around and kind of decide, okay, well, it might want to be like on a smaller budget. Other venues you can't use outside vendors, so you have to use what they have and you have to pay what they charge, you know. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's a really good question. And then as far as did you have parties, I'm not really sure what you mean by that. I think what you mean is like, did we part it? Like, did me and my husband part? Like, you pay for this and I pay for that. Well, me and him, like, we've always kind of had like a joint account. So we don't really do like, oh, you pay for this, we pay for that. Like, we just pay for our bills and all that stuff together because we have a combined account. I do want to say though that sometimes, you know, family members tell you that they'll pay for this, but then they don't end up paying for that. We did have a little bit of help. Like my sister, my maid of honor, helped with the DJ, and then we had someone help us with the bartenders. So you know, there is family that is willing to help you, but I wouldn't rely solely on that because you never know, people change their mind, or you know, something might happen or whatever. Well, somebody asked, what's a must do or have? I think it's really important to have a photographer and a videographer. Now I know a lot of people skip out on that because it is expensive, or you know, it's not like it's like $300, you know. So a lot of people skip out on either a photographer or on a videographer, but I feel like for the most part they skip out on videographers, and mostly because people think it's a big expense, which, you know, it's not cheap, but at the same time I feel like it's so crucial because the thing is that people don't realize that your day goes by so quick. Like literally you're planning, waiting months and months for one particular day, and at the end of the day it's usually like what, 8-10 hours. So it's like literally it goes by quick. Literally just live your wedding, and whatever you want captured, whatever moments you want captured, they do it for you, if that makes sense. So it's like you don't even have to worry or stress about anything. You know, they're gonna capture whatever you want. They're gonna do it their way, and they're gonna do it in their visual representation, and it's just like, it's so nice to look back on. Like my videographer, like, and my photographer, like, they captured so many emotions and such beautiful pictures that I like literally would cherish forever. And like my video, like, and I'm specifically talking more about the videography because I feel like that's the one that people skip out on a lot. And I watch my video all the time just because I want to, or just because I feel like I'm having a hard day and I want to remember how blessed I am and how lucky I am to have what I have. And it makes me feel humbled and like just actually having the experience, like it takes me back, like just watching the video takes me back to that day, and it's just so beautiful, and you know, people feel it and they see it. So, and it has so many beautiful memories. Like it has such beautiful memories, like of when my dad saw me for the first look. Like it's so emotional, and like you can literally feel it. Like it's so weird because it's like in a video. So I strongly recommend, again, you don't want to have to worry about anything, anyone taking your pictures or anything, because everything they're capturing themselves. You know, you spend so much money and time and energy, you want to have those things that you can remember. Another must have, I believe, is, for example, me, I did not have a wedding planner. Personally, I don't feel like I needed one, but I knew that I needed a day of coordinator. Now, even if you're having a small wedding or whatever, like I feel like it's completely necessary to have a day of coordinator, because if not, you're gonna be like running your own wedding, and I don't think you should do that at all. Like, fuck that shit. Like, you paid a lot of money, you know, invested so much time and energy for you to still like have to worry like, hey guys, like let's bundle up. Like, fuck that. I'm not gonna do any of that. Actually was the one that made all the schedule and everything, and I want to do a video about that as well, because I feel like that is essential too. Like, if you're not gonna have a wedding planner, at least do your schedule, like, because your schedule will literally control your whole day, make sure that everything's going at the time that it needs to. And honestly, the time crunch is pretty crucial on that, so you have to really spend a lot of time on that. I am going to be making a video telling you guys how I did it, because I had no idea how I did it before. I literally was asking people like, how does it work? Like, you just pick random times or what? I laid everything down for my day of coordinator. I gave her everything, months and months of stress and trying to figure it out. The last minute, I literally gave it to her. She took care of everything, and she was even like, damn girl, you made it like super easy for me, this and that. And because of her, I was able to enjoy my wedding, not worry about shit. Because at the same time, like I said, some people are not gonna arrive what you think. Not everything's gonna go according to the schedule. It's just not unrealistic. So, you know, people are gonna be late, which, you know, in my case, some people were late after they told me they were not gonna be late, or whatever the case is. You know, they were worried or about whatever, so they were late, you know, so it pushed back certain things. So it's like, that's what people don't realize. Like, you being late, a person being late, or a person not doing this or that, it pushes back. Like, we're literally on a schedule for a reason. So my day of coordinator like really had that attitude, and she was like being like kind of rude to people that were late or like messing the schedule up. And I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna sound really evil, but I kind of enjoyed it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, because I couldn't be like, hey, well, that's rude. Like, she literally would tell them for me, and she gave them attitude. And I personally, I was loving it, because I'm like, dude, like, you know, like, it's just one day. Like, how hard is it to be punctual? I don't understand, on such an important day. If you can't afford it, I would definitely try to recommend somebody that, you know, that you see has like really good managing skills or whatever the case may be. But do not make it be your mom. Do not make it be your cousin. Do not make it be your maid of honor. Do not make it be anybody that's going to the wedding. Do not, because it's not gonna go as planned. Just trust me. I know that you're trying to save money, but trust me, don't do that. Don't do that. Do not do that. Do not tell your tia to control the shit. Do not tell your cousin. Do not tell your maid of honor, because guess what? She's in the wedding. So if she's not on right, she's not on point, then the shit's not gonna go right. Like, trust me, just try to hire somebody that's a professional, or somebody that knows how to do this or has experience in event planning. And, you know, like, tell them, like, you know, if you have a small budget, tell them you have a smaller budget or whatever the case is. You can always give them extra, or, you know, whatever. So I strongly recommend those two things. Sorry, it's a long one, but I'm really passionate about all this stuff, because I obviously experienced it myself. So yeah. Okay. So it says, one thing that you would have changed about your wedding. That's a good question, because I honestly can't think of anything. The only thing I think that I would have changed about my wedding was the fact that I felt like I didn't make enough time for photos with my family. I told my photographer, like, if push comes to shove, then obviously we're the priority. Like, me and my husband take pictures of us together, you know. But yeah, so some people were late, you know, it is what it is. So it pushed back the time. So it kind of stopped me from being able to take quick pictures of my mom or my dad. And that's the only thing I would change. Is probably make bigger gaps to take in between for photos. Like, don't make like 10 minutes for photos, because sometimes the gap is like so little, and that if someone's late, it makes you 10 minutes late, then guess what? Those 10 minutes are gone. So that's the only thing I think I would have prioritized, maybe just doing that. But besides that, I don't think I would have changed anything else, to be honest with you. Said, what made you choose Reptacular Ranch venue? So we had our wedding at Reptacular Ranch venue that is in Sylmar, California. I chose it because I've told you guys before, I really liked that you could use your outside vendors. So it was really great to work with a budget with that, having that in mind. There's just a lot of good things that I really liked about the ranch. First off, I love the location. So me and my husband wanted an outdoor wedding for sure, like something mountainly, like stuff like that. Actually found it on the Knot on, like, I think it was like the most beautiful, affordable outdoor weddings, and I saw that they had it there on the Knot. Now I do want to say, if you guys check it out on the website, their website sucks. Their branding's not that good and everything. So I was a little skeptical, and I told my husband I wanted to go look at it because I seen actual videos of videographers and it looked really nice, but you know, they didn't have that many pictures and stuff like that. So I booked a tour. I called the owner there, his name is Corey, and I booked the tour, and I believe we saw it like that same weekend, and me and my husband went. And when we got there, my husband really liked it. You know, it was like he really liked it, and it's honestly, it was a great price too at the time. I believe they did raise it up a little bit more, but it was a great price. Nothing I've ever seen at that price. There was only two that I seen around that price range, and the other one was just like, no, like it literally didn't come with shit, and it was just like an empty space. But this one actually had a lot of great things. So again, the location really liked, and then it was affordable, and they had outside vendors. And I also really liked that they had the ceremony and the reception in the same place. So there's actually like a little bridge that you cross over, and once you cross that over, then you're like in the reception area, and then you have the seating area. I'll try to post some pictures right here, but I really loved that it was set up for a ceremony as well. Like they already had the altar ready, and you know, everything had cement. Like it was meant for that, because I've seen a lot of other venues that are really nice, like the actual reception part, but the venue part where you actually get married, it's just kind of like they just put like a little stand and they put chairs and it's on grass, which is still cute, but like I felt like they just kind of like make it up, if that makes sense. And the Reptacular Ranch already has it ready. It has wooden benches, 15 of them on each side or something like that, and then it even has a little bridge. And I loved that it was a long walk to the aisle. Like the aisle is long. I've seen some that it's like really short, so it's like, I know that for me, I really wanted to remember that moment, so I really love that it would give me time to really enjoy the moment. I thought it was really cute, like how you cross over the bridge and everything. So I loved that, and that the reception was there. And then the reception area, it does come with tables and chairs, and the lighting is already set up, so all the lights going across, you don't have to worry about hanging any of that up. I think it's really cute. It comes with a lot of like it comes with the sweetheart table and the chairs and like a lot of like things. Obviously it's extra to rent certain things, but for the most part it comes with a lot of things, and then you have a lot of add-ons and everything. So I think also I want to say that the first 100 people are free. Don't charge per person until it's after 100 people. So after that, I don't know if it's like $20 or $17 a person or $15 a person. I actually don't even remember, but it's something like that, like something like reasonable. Some venues, you guys, that'll see that are like $80 a person. So yeah, $80 a person versus $15 a person. Yeah. So it was like, I don't know, I just felt like it was like perfect for us, and it was perfect for me to try to budget and really do what I wanted, because they don't really have limits. The outside vendors, they're not strict. There's some people that don't allow you to do certain food, you know, things like that. So it's really flexible. And you know, the staff is there. I think it's like 12 or 10 of them. They'll help you on the day of, like clean up and kind of like put things together. A lot of good signs to go for it. So that's why we chose it. So if you're looking for something similar like that, then I would definitely recommend you guys to check it out if you're in Southern California. So somebody asked, what was your budget, and do you feel like you overspent? So at first, like I said, I had no idea how much weddings cost or anything, never looked into it or anything. So once I kind of started seeing everything, adding it up and everything, I was like, okay, yeah, it's definitely gonna pass 10,000. Kind of made the budget of like 15,000. So my budget was around 15,000. I think everything kind of calculated and came out to around like 15,000 or maybe a little more, but not too much. So pretty much around there. Now I know for some people that might sound like a lot. I know for some people that sounds a little bit. I think like average weddings, like people that have them at venues or like ballrooms and stuff like that, I believe they're like around 35,000. Again, I did not opt for a ballroom. I don't like that. I don't like the glam stuff. I don't like any of that stuff. So if you're looking for something like that, just keep in mind that it is going to be a little bit more on the pricier side. So it just depends on your style. Luckily for me, we wanted that style, and it's a little bit easier to work with. So we were able to keep our budget down to 15,000. And then somebody said, do you think you overspent? No, I did not. I think we got like really, really good memories and deals of everything. Like even my photographers and my videographers, I know them personally, so they gave me a really good price, something that I can work with. I think kind of starts to add up. So yeah, just kind of like think about what you really want and what you don't want, prioritize it. Maybe there's some things that you can pass on. In fact, there's some things that I decided to pass on because I felt like it wasn't going to be worth it, or it wasn't really what I wanted. So why spend more money if it's not that important to me? Yeah. And then the last question, any advice to share for brides to be? So yes, I do have a lot of advice. Okay, so first off, I will say that I think my advice would be to brides is to really, really live in the moment, specifically walking down the aisle. Now, the reason why I say that is because that's something that I kept telling myself throughout the last month's engagement, wedding prepping. I would always talk to brides, people that had weddings, and I would pay attention how they would all say that they did not remember walking down the aisle. And I don't know, because they kept saying it, like I kept thinking in my head, oh, I definitely want to remember that. Also knowing that I had a long walk down the aisle made me really think, like really take it in, look at the people, like smile, be happy, remember the moment, because I'm never gonna have the moment again. And it's just something that I dreamed of as a little girl, and I knew I was gonna walk down with my dad and everything, so I knew that I was very like grateful to be able to do that. So it's definitely something that I wanted to do. So if you are gonna be walking down the aisle, with whoever you like, really, really try to keep cherishing that moment. Like I just remember seeing everybody and seeing their faces, and they were smiling at me, and like I literally remember looking from the side there, like everything. I remember literally everything because I really took the time to be able to live in the moment. So when people tell you live in the moment, really try to live in the moment. Another advice that I would give to a bride is that there is no right or wrong way to do stuff. And you don't have to do everything so traditional. You can do whatever you want. If you don't want to wear a white dress, don't wear a white dress. If you don't want to wear this, then don't wear this. Like if you didn't imagine doing that, then don't do that. Like don't do stuff because you feel pressured or because other people are going to judge you. For example, like I didn't do bridesmaids and the groomsmen walking down together. I didn't do that. The colors, I didn't do all matching. I did whatever I wanted, things like that. So you literally could do whatever you want. And there is no right or wrong way to do anything. So definitely do what you want and don't feel pressured by anything or anyone. The last thing I want to share for advice for brides, don't expect so much from people, or don't expect so many things. I think that the number one thing that makes brides, like ruin their whole planning, is that we expect a lot from other people. So whether it's a bridesmaid, whether it's a friend, whether it's your mom, whether it's somebody, you kind of expect people to be happy for you and put you first, and not run late on your special day, not think about themselves on your special day, and think about you and put you first. And the thing is that not everyone's gonna do that, and it's just reality. And I think if you don't have any expectations for anyone, I think you won't be hurt. I actually got pretty hurt a lot of my wedding planning, and it was even from some guests, because they made remarks about stuff, which I think is unfair, because at the end of the day, like you don't know if that couple was planning something, or like you don't know what people are going through for you to be so selfish to only think about you. Like, oh hey, well, what about me? Well, what about this? What about that? Like it's just, people are very, very, very selfish, and you will see that. You will see people's true colors And I'm not trying to be negative or mean. I'm just trying to kind of like put that out there for you guys so that you guys don't have these expectations. And I know it's natural to expect something like so obvious, but it's just, like I said, people are gonna think about themselves first. Especially like I see it all the time with brides and bridesmaids. They, you know, they fight over little bickering things, or sometimes the maid of honor and like another one fight, and like little things like that. That really wasn't the case for me, but I'm just saying in general, like examples. So don't have expectations, because it's just gonna be a bunch of drama. Also the day of, like I said, do not have expectations the day of. Don't have expectations of, you know, like people showing up early or doing this or that, or hey, they're gonna do this. Just try not to have as many expectations, because that is what makes people bridezillas. That is the reason why they gotta be bridezillas, because people are so selfish, and you feel like you like, hey, like, dude, I'm here, like, you know, hello. So definitely do not have expectations, and I think that you will have a great day. Like for example, I kind of felt like the day of my wedding, I was like, fuck whatever. You just want to be happy, you just want to enjoy the day and enjoy the moment and everything. So just try to, you know, enjoy the moment. Try not to have expectations. Don't worry, don't sweat about the small things. Like for example, like certain things not going out wrong, like, you know, something so little where like it's like, oh well, I didn't add the candles that I wanted to add, so now I'm so stressed out, like I can't find the candles, like this and that, like, or whatever's gonna be like set up by, like, no, like literally your guests have no idea what's supposed to be what. So you might think in your head like, fuck, I fucked it up because I didn't have this, but it's fine. They don't know, they don't care like you do. So at the end of the day, if something's really stressing you out and something didn't go your way, fuck it. Like my day of coordinator told me that you're gonna get to a point where you're just throwing the fuck it bucket. Like there's a fuck it, invisible fuck it bucket, and you just say fuck it. And I remember because literally the day when I talked to her, I FaceTime with her, and I was telling her the schedule, and I told her, and she was asking me questions, and I was like, fuck it. And then she started laughing, and I was like, why are you laughing? She's like, because you're at the fucking bucket stage. And I was like, yup. We're gonna get to that point, and it's fine. Let that point get there. Like, it's literally relieving to be like, fuck it. You know? So, yeah, I know that my answers were really, really long, but I just have so much to talk about for everything specifically. I hope that you guys found it helpful. And hopefully it kind of helped out or kind of gave you guys some guide. If you guys have any more questions, I would love to do a round 2. So you guys can drop them down below or whatever it is. If you guys are getting married, congratulations. Again, try to live in the moment and experience, you know, that at the end of the day, you're so lucky to be marrying the person that you have. And that's really all that matters, as long as your family is there. If you guys enjoyed this video, and also if you were a bride that was supposed to be married around this month, I'm really sorry about this whole coronavirus. I can only imagine how it must feel to plan for months and then have to reschedule. That's literally horrible. I'm sorry to hear, but hopefully everything gets better with time, and you know, everything happens for a reason. So maybe, you know, something was gonna go wrong in the wedding, who knows. But just kind of think about it in a positive way, and I hope that you guys' weddings and everything continue later on this year. So thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.